I think the screen will be
Okay.
best. Thanks. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Hey everyone. We are going to show how to install the Arduino thing and get to programming this force sensitive transducer. Oh, okay. I'm gonna unplug this off, so it's not working now, but this thing. So first step is installing Visual Studio Code. Cool. So also there are two options. One's like installing Arduino, and second is installing VSCode plus a plugin that basically does the job of Arduino. I think the second option is like nicer overall, so we'll just do that. And if you want to go the Arduino route, there will be a lot of tutorials already on YouTube. Cool. And by the way, here it is working. So when we press on the force sensitive resistor, see that it changes value from 3.3 to 0 gradually. And it's just on the side, but VS Code is basically like the most popular and like the best code editor for everyone. So you can, if you ever get to work on like Python, Java, whatever other programming projects, you'll probably end up using this thing. So it's good to have in your computer. Cool. And the next thing to do is pressing this button, the one below. Yeah. And we'll search for platformIO. Yeah. platformIO IDE. And yeah, you can press install. Also, this is probably going to be unlisted, so only Tom people will watch. So like, feel free to talk.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yo.
sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah. And our board is called M-pipe stack. So what we'll do is, you can open the platformIO dashboard in the left. So this is the new button that we just discovered after installing it. And it takes a while to start, usually. But platformIO, what it does is it allows you to program microcontrollers instead of like regular PC programs. And it's more complicated to program microcontrollers because there's like so many different types and they all have like a different compiling process because they have different physical chips in them. So we'll have like a bit more configuration to do. Right. Awesome. Cool. So usually what we want is the PIO home one. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I guess open. Cool. So that opened the PIO home. And yeah, what we want to do is to make a new project, probably. And
like a full screen or
sure, yeah. I think that makes sense. And one of the annoying things about platformIO is like the fact that the default location is like really hidden down your computer. So I usually uncheck this option and, just choose like a random folder that I use, but feel free to do anything.
Here's location.
Oh, that's right. Do you want to try scrolling down? Mentions. Oh,
Okay. Do that.
cool.
Projects.
All right, so yeah, that's the platformio default project folder. You can see it's like sort of hidden.
And
Or
documents.
low-key, maybe it's not hidden. I don't know. Up to you.
Okay. Guess we'll just go to the default one.
Cool. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
And the only thing we need to do is in boards, you can select M5 stack. And this specific model is called M5 Fire. So
What's it called?
it'll be like the alphabet M and 5. And number 5, yeah. And fire. Oh yeah, 5 stack fire. This thing. Cool. Awesome. And
Finish.
yep.
Alright.
It's usually pretty slow. Oh, sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. And M5 stack usually it comes with a backside, but we unscrewed it and that way it exposes like the pins that are inside. And you can see a tiny little pin map, but you can find a bigger version online. And these sort of the locations map to the location of the pins, the 2-column pins here. And you see it has ground, power, ADC, an interface that's called I2C for using sensors and other stuff. And then here's a breadboard that basically implements the super simple circuit that we made in the last video. It has a voltage source, the orange wire coming in, and it goes through a resistor and the force sensitive resistor in series. And then the yellow wire is the ADC pin, which stands for analog to digital converter. You can think of it basically as a voltmeter. And the ground, the black cable here, basically represents where the 0 voltage is. Because remember, voltage is always relative. There's no like true 0 voltage. Not sure why it's taking so long, but it tends to take its time. And by the way, these wires are usually called header pin wires. And they're meant to be plugged into breadboards easily. And they also plug into these pins in M5 stack. But one problem is they're longer than the holes in the M5 stack, so you need to cut it to like maybe 1/3 length. And it'll be flush. You wanna
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that is to determine the weight of
Yeah.
Okay.
So it measures pressure, and I guess we can calculate like multiply by area to get force. I'm not sure like how accurate it's gonna be, so I think we'll have to do some testing. It's called an FSR, force sensitive resistor.
Is this like for a coin cell battery or something?
I think this is for an SD card because this board specifically has a like lithium-ion battery already.
Yeah.
But we don't see it right now because it's like attached to the back. Yeah, but it has like a lot of things in it. Like it has an accelerometer and gyroscope, which is
Mm.
really nice because usually to connect them is like is work.
So the M5 core is like, oh,
Nice.
hooray.
Cool.
So this is a microcontroller too?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Those are a great question. It's called an ESP32, which I would say is like the most popular one right now because it's really cheap, really fast, and has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, which is really nice. You know, if you get an Arduino, for example, that doesn't have a Bluetooth already, then you have to like get a Bluetooth module connected,
Yeah.
power it, also work. Cool. Right. So we see the configuration file here, and um the we don't really need to change this often, but the first line platform says what chip it has or what chip family it has.
Hmm.
And ESP32 is a shorthand for the Espressif 32 system. And M-Pipe Stack is the name of the board, and framework says Arduino. So Arduino is like the program language is a variant of C++. And there are other variants of C++ that you can also code microcontrollers with. But usually Arduino is probably the one you're going for. And there are like 6 folders here, right? And usually the only one you need to change is the src and main.cpp. And you'll see if you've ever used Arduino before, you'll recognize this to be familiar. It has a setup function and a loop function. And the codes used right now or for the demo that took place last week was just the what should we call it? ChatGPT's code. So we'll just use that. Oh, okay. Important thing. Would you mind going to Google?
Mhm.
And could you look up M5 Stack PlatformIO? Sorry, M5 Stack.
So yeah.
M5 Stack like T.
Yeah.
Sorry. Cool. Cool.
Oh, stack.
Yeah. Sorry, that was
Right here.
okay. Yeah.
This one.
Oh, actually, never mind. There should be another thing. Do you want to go back real quick? Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think it's this one. Oh, never mind. So what we're looking for is a library, like, because MPipe Stack provides. Oh, okay, yeah, I think that's it. Provides like sample codes on how to use like the display and sensors, and we'll use it. And yep. Oh, actually, before that, we'll go to installations, and this says how to install it, but it is kind of overly complicated. All you need to do, or actually, it is kind of complicated to do this. So we need to edit the platformio.ini file that we saw earlier that had the 3 lines. And what we need to do is we need to paste this into there. And it says that add the following line to the lib dependencies option in the environment section. So we'll see what they mean.
Right here.
Yeah. And I think to this file. Yeah. And so this is what they meant by the inf colon. So everything is already written in there. So we need to do is we need to go to the bottom and add lib underscore, yeah, and deps. Yep. And think you just need to do an equal sign and paste this on. Cool. And that's it. And what the lib DEPS stands for is like library dependencies, which means like codes that you want to build on top of. Cool. Right. And
Do I go to the web?
yeah.
Okay.
And now we can, copy any example in this thing. So it has an example on like buttons, displays, IMU, which is the accelerometer and gyroscope, microphone, other stuff. Probably display is what you want.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. And cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super long. So something you could do that I did last time is, and some of these comments are written in Chinese, so it's hard to decipher them. So I just asked ChatGPT to translate all the comments into English. And, since this has basic functions in the file, you could send it and ask it to simplify it to like just whatever you need. Do you want to do that real quick?
Or like on chat?
Yeah.
Okay. And then just paste the code in.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
And
And
okay. Say like that. So and then ask it to you said translate the comments.
yeah, I think that's a good practice if you ever encounter code that's not written in English.
Okay. I think most of these comments are in English already.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I
But
don't think we need to then.
okay.
And you could ask it to, or you could ask it whatever you want to explain, or whatever you want to ask. But and this code is like pretty well commented already. But if you encounter any code that doesn't have any comments, something you could do is like ask it to write line by line comments, which will literally put comments in every line and explain intuitively what it's doing. And it's so nice. And it cuts down the time it takes to understand codes so much.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's up to you at this point. Oh, okay, I forgot this part. So we also need to measure the voltage from the force sensitive resistor to this thing. And again, we're going to use what's called ADC, analog to digital converter. And there are two ADC pins in this board. One's 35 and one's 36. I don't know if the text is big enough to see this. And I think, could you ask it to give you an example of how to use the analog to digital converter?
On on the M5.
Yeah.
M5 fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Cool. Awesome. Oh, okay. I see it already has the code for displaying the values with the, yeah. is nice. Cool. And at this point, we could just copy and paste, see if things work.
Okay. Which does this have all of it?
Yeah, I think the top one is probably the, or the one you were just looking at.
That's
Sorry.
oh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can delete all this usually. And you'll see it's pretty simple. Still has the setup code, still has a loop, and has some stuff to run the LCD, and reading the analog value. And by analog value, it means voltage, usually.
Mm.
Cool. And so we get an error here, and it's because M5 Stack, they changed the name of their library, but didn't change their examples. I think you need to change that to M5 Unified, or it should say it on their website. Oh, maybe it's in the other window. That's not in the other window. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so I think it should be M5 Unified instead of M5 Stack. Uh, hmm. Let's check real quick.
Does the .h symbolize something important?
So .h is a C++ thing, and oh, cool. Oh, and sorry, I think we should also include Arduino again. So if you don't mind putting that, cool. .h means it's a header file, and it's somehow different from like the .cpp files. And like header files are apparently better and like it's cleaner, but it's like harder to write. It's about as much I know. But yeah. .h is something you'll see often when you work with C++.
Yeah.
Cool. And the way you test it and build or like compile and omelet things is there's a tiny button in the bottom corner. Yeah. So it says platformio build, right? If you press this, it will try and build things. Cool. So you can see it downloads the library that we just added. Now, I guess the error up top might be because it's not downloaded yet.
Is this you said the software is something that we mainly use for like other classes, like industry, or like is this just mainly used for the M5 kind
You mean platformio, right?
of?
You can think of it as like Arduino that is more capable. Like
Mhm.
Arduino as like the program that you install, the Arduino IDE, because the Arduino program works with the Arduino line of products plus some other products. But like you said, in the industry, you'll encounter other microcontrollers that don't support the Arduino language themselves, but have like the similar other languages. One's called, oh, I forgot what it's called. Embed, I think. MBED. It's it's harder to write for sure by Arduino, but I think it's more efficient if you know what you're doing. And yeah, platformio supports those better, and I would say platformio just works better for more complex projects. Arduinos have like a limit because they're meant to be simple. Yeah. And in an industrial setting, you might not use platformio just because it's like only 5 years old and it's not really old
Mm.
enough to penetrate the industry. But you'll be using similar things functionally. But those like real industrial software will be it's like worse in terms of learning how to use because they're old software
Mm.
that didn't really take into account like
Learnability.
yeah. Cool. So okay, seems like it compiled successfully. And the first time it takes long, but if you change something and then recompile, it'll only take like 3 seconds. And I think the last step. Oh, okay. Before we move on,
It's not an error anymore.
cool, awesome. So we see it defines the ADC pin to be 34. And would you mind going to Google and pulling up the M5 fire pin map? Cool. Right. I think that should be it. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. So that sort of maps to these header pins in the left side. And we see G35 and G36. You can ignore G, I think. They're the ADC pins. And maybe G34 also is, but we'll probably change it to G35 or 6, whatever you want. Cool. All right. And so since we changed it to 35, we'll just make sure that it is physically connected to 35 when we plug everything together. And on the microcontroller side, all we need to do is just plug it. Do you have a
Yeah.
cool?
That's a big one.
And you can plug it. And you won't have to download any driver or anything. Very convenient. Cool. So do you want to try and upload? Oh, it should be yeah, that one. They're so tiny. I don't know why they made it so tiny.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Did it upload? Cool. Right. Do you want to show it to the screen real quick? Cool. So we see the same print statements that we have in the codes. It's saying like M5 stack ADC example, reading analog input, analog value. And for time reasons, let's just do it quickly without going over the breadboards. So yeah, cool.
So I know like the top right is I guess 35.
Yeah.
What
And yellow, I think, is the
Oh.
signal, the ADC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. And
And
the orange one should go to 5 volts. It's in the bottom right corner. And the G or the black cable is usually grounds. Awesome. All right, let's see what we get when we press on the. Okay, do you want to show it to the screen?
Yeah. Okay. So it's reading
All right, yeah, I can hold it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Thanks. Right, so it changed to reading 4095 always. And do you want to press on the, yeah, FSR? Cool. It's It's 1900, 1700, 1100. Do you want to push it really hard? Okay, it's like 2000, 2400. Cool. Okay. So yeah, works.
Nice.
I think this is it.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome. Sweet.
Oh gosh.
Of course. That's a help.
Yeah.
And be of assistance.
And then